Hey guys, I just want to walk you through a little bit of information on how to receive an order. So the first thing that you do is you open up all the boxes and you pull out the pieces of paper. You're going to see that it says invoice enclosed, and that's obviously where the invoice is. But when you open it up, you're going to get two different kinds of receipts. You're going to get a carton packing list, and then you're going to get a receipt right there. So the carton packing list is obviously whatever's in that box is listed on there. And then the receipt is the actual magic that's going to happen here. The other thing is in most cases, like for SalonCentric, we have two accounts. We have a professional account and then we have a retail account. So what you're going to be looking for is you're going to be looking for the retail receipt. And basically you can do a couple different ways, but my favorite way is just to kind of like view it and go, are these professional products or are they retail products? And as you can see here, these are a lot of our retail products that are listed here. So this is actually the receipt for our retail order. The professional order should all be set aside. Keep the receipt and the carton packing list with those boxes, and we can have somebody else in the hair department go through that packing list and make sure that we received everything. However, take the receipt out and we're going to include the receipt into our filing here. So whenever we get a receipt in, we finish the order. So kind of fast forward to the end, you're going to find, and I don't know that it's here yet, but because we're just starting in our new tracking system, but in here there is going to be a spot that says SalonCentric receipts, and that would be somewhere in here. So then what you're going to do is you're going to go to the computer and you're going to click on the inventory screen right here, and that's the barcode label. The next step is we have three different pieces for this inventory screen. You have purchasing, so you would use these two buttons to do a purchase order, which you are not going to be paying attention to. You're going to use these three ones for receiving orders, and then this one is for inventory and adjustments and counting. So whenever you receive an order, you're going to always choose this guy right here. It's new receiving order with no purchase order. So new RO with no purchase order. Every single vendor we get something from, you're always going to choose this to start the process of receiving an invoice and putting it into the computer. So you click it, and then you go up here to the vendor. So once you click vendor, basically we have a couple options. We have Cosmoprof, we have M, miscellaneous, professional skincare, and then SalonCentric. Here's the truth. You're probably only going to use SalonCentric and then miscellaneous for everything else. So I'm going to choose SalonCentric because this is a SalonCentric product order. The next step is you're going to take the invoice and you're going to look at the first item on the list. So the first item on this list is Redken Styling Full Frame 8.5 ounce, and we ordered one and we received quantity shipped one. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways. One way is to click on product name. You can double click on it and pull up all of the products and start searching the bar here, going to Redken sales, and then starting to look for the product. Or my favorite way to do it is just to start doing the hotkey and see if I can find it fast. So I'm going to put full in there and see if something that says full frame comes up. And look, there it is right there. So I have full frame, double click on that. And the nice thing is we've been starting to add vendor numbers in here right here. So one of the quick ways to add it is just to go product name and start typing it in and see if you can find it. If you're struggling with it, it's not under a really easy way to pull it up, then you just start picking a category, and after you pick a category, you pick a subcategory, and then you see what's in that list here and just go ahead and start searching for it. That's kind of the long way. But when we get really awesome at adding our vendor numbers in there, what you can do is on our invoice right here, you're going to see that there's a product number right here, and it's P092740. Because somebody took the time and added the vendor number, it actually came up really, really quick in there. So now what we can do, since we know that that's in there, is in a perfect world, all we would do is we would sit on the invoice here and we would enter in all of the vendor numbers and they would come up. So that's when it comes to Salon Centric, that's the easiest way to do it. Now, if you added something to there and there wasn't a vendor number, you could actually pull the vendor number off of the invoice and enter it in on this sheet right on the screen here, and it saves the vendor number for next time. So maybe you had to do the work to add the vendor number in there, but the next person who receives that product, it'll happen a lot quicker. So after you enter in the entire invoice, and so I'm just going to add a couple more in here, and I'm going to use the vendor numbers. And I'm just looking at the invoice, and water wax was my next item, and we have one. If you had two, you would change it to a different quantity, but we actually did receive one, so we'll just leave it as one. And I'm going to add one more, and then I'm going to show you what's next. Okay. 3, 2, 1, 0, 0. So the next one is hot sets, and we actually got 2 of those. So I'm going to change that to 2. So you would just go through and enter in the entire invoice. When you're finished with that, the next step is to print the labels. And you just go to this print label guy right here. And you get the labels out of this. There is somewhere in here. Remember, we just got the front desk here, so now we can't find anything, right? Pretend like there's labels in there for this quick video. You would take the labels out and put them in the printer down there, okay? The labels are going to come in a full sheet, one that has not been touched, and in that case you would just keep it at starting at column 1 and starting at row 1, hit print, and it would print out all the labels on the sheet for you. If you wanted to start page 1 though, on a partially used price label sheet, you would go, okay, I'm going to start at the 3rd column, row number 10, and it would put the first page, it would start it at the exact spot that you need it to, and then it would go to the 2nd page just at the beginning. So if you're using partial sheets, you would only be able to use a partial sheet for the first page. All the other pages need to be full pages. For the holidays. So after you print that, then what you're going to do is take the labels and start putting them on your products. My advice to you is to set all the products out, put all the labels on it, see what's left on your sheet. So like when there's something left on your product label sheet, it means you either mislabeled something or that we were supposed to get something that they said they sent, but we actually didn't get. If you have an error in your receiving order, then you're just gonna take the label that you're missing the product on here and then give it to a shift leader, and they will call the Salon Centric store and tell them that we didn't receive an item. Unless you would like to take care of that, that would be really happy. And then just journal somewhere underneath the label on the receiving order, here's what happened, and I called them and they're sending a new item. So once you've put all the labels on and you've been able to verify that there's accuracy in what you just entered in the computer, you actually can go ahead and put all the products away, and then the last step would be to process your receiving order. And so when you process your receiving order, you just click this guy here, whoops, and this receiving order would then just go into received, and then our inventory counts in the computer would be all accurate and everybody's happy, right? So the last step is to staple this. You're going to take your receipt. When you finished it, you're going to put all your notes about receiving it, what worked, what didn't work. Notify anybody if you don't know how to take care of a solution that happened during your receiving order. Staple it together and put it in the file cabinet over here under Salon Centric. So again, I'm going to have Salon Centric file here and printing labels in here as well. So let somebody know if there's some questions. That's my quick version of it, and happy pricing.